Welcome to Book Explainer. Today, we are diving into a book that might just change how you see, well, everything. It's Donella Meadows' masterpiece, Thinking in Systems. This is basically a guide to understanding the invisible patterns that run our lives, our businesses, and our world.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt completely stuck, like you're fighting the same battle again and again? You put in a fix, things get better for a little while, and then boom, the problem comes right back, sometimes even worse than before. Donella Meadows says this happens because we're not seeing the whole picture. We're busy fixing parts, but we never stop to understand the system itself.
I just love this quote from Russell Ackoff because it nails the truth, doesn't it? In the real world, we don't get neat, isolated little problems. We get these big, interconnected, tangled-up messes. And when you try to pull on just one thread, you have no idea what else you're yanking on from across the whole web.
And that leads to the book's absolute core idea. Meadows uses this fantastic analogy, a slinky. Think about it. If you drop a slinky, its own structure, the coils, makes it bounce. If you drop the box the slinky came in, it just thuds. The drop didn't cause the bouncing. It just released a behavior that was already built into the spring's design. And it's the exact same for economies, for companies, for ecosystems. Their behavior, the booms and busts, the successes and failures, it all comes from their own internal structure.
Okay, so if a system's structure is what causes its behavior, then what is that structure actually made of? Let's get right into the absolute basics. What exactly is a system?
Here's the definition from the book, and the keywords here are interconnected, organized, and achieve something. It has a purpose. A system is always way more than just the sum of its parts. You know, a pile of sand isn't a system, but the players on a football team, that's a system. You can't just take out the quarterback and expect the whole thing to work the same.
Meadows says every single system breaks down into these three parts. Now, we usually focus on the elements, the players, the factories, the stuff we can see and count. But the real magic, the real power, is in the less visible parts. The interconnections, the rules of the game, the way information flows, and most importantly, the system's purpose. If you change the purpose, you can change everything, even if all the players on the field stay exactly the same.
So to really see this invisible architecture, we need a few more tools. We need to understand the dynamic parts that make it all run: stocks, flows, and feedback.
All right, let's start with stocks and flows. A stock is just an accumulation of something. It could be water in a bathtub, money in a bank account, or even your own self-confidence. It's kind of like the memory of the system. Flows are simply the things that change the stock over time. The faucet is the inflow, the drain is the outflow. Our world is filled with these. The population, carbon in the atmosphere, these are all stocks, and they're all being changed by flows.
But what controls the flows? Well, that's where feedback loops come in. The first kind is a reinforcing loop. This one amplifies whatever is happening. The more a snowball rolls downhill, the bigger it gets, which of course makes it roll even faster. This is the engine of exponential growth. Think about viral marketing or population booms. But be careful, because it can also drive a rapid collapse, like a fire spreading out of control.
Now, the opposite of that is the balancing feedback loop. This loop is all about stability. It tries to keep a stock at a certain goal. Your body uses these loops to keep your temperature right around 98.6 degrees. A thermostat in your house uses one to keep the room comfortable. These are the loops that provide stability and resist change, always trying to pull the system back to where it wants to be. So, imagine all these different loops, some reinforcing, some balancing, all interacting with each other at the same time. This is where we get to the really practical stuff, identifying the common patterns, or archetypes, that create so many of our most stubborn, frustrating problems. These system traps are exactly why we get so surprised all the time. We apply a simple, linear solution like, say, banning a drug, and we expect a simple result. But we totally miss how the hidden feedback loops, like the creation of a lucrative black market, are going to push back, creating all these unintended consequences and often making the original problem even worse.
Here is a classic trap: success to the successful. This one is powered by a nasty reinforcing loop. The winner gets a reward. More money, more influence, whatever, that makes it even easier for them to win again next time. A tiny little advantage at the beginning starts to compound over time until one company totally dominates a market, or wealth gets concentrated in the hands of just a few.
And oh man, we have all been caught in this trap, shifting the burden. Instead of solving a really hard root cause, like, say, terrible company morale, we slap on a quick fix, like a one-time bonus. Sure, it covers up the symptom for a minute, but the underlying problem just festers. And now, everyone starts to depend on that quick fix instead of actually building a healthy workplace. The system forgets how to solve its own problems.
So how in the world do we escape these traps? This brings us to probably the most powerful and famous concept in the entire book, finding leverage points.
It all comes down to this one simple question: where do you intervene? See, not all actions are created equal. Some actions take a huge amount of effort for very little change, while a tiny, elegant push in just the right place can transform the entire system. The real art is finding that leverage point.
Meadows created this incredible hierarchy, this ladder of leverage points. Now, most of our efforts are focused way down at the bottom, just tweaking numbers like budgets or tax rates. Turns out, these have super low leverage. As you climb the ladder, you find changing the system's rules, like its incentives. Even more powerful than that is changing the system's goal. But what's the single most powerful place to intervene? It's right at the top, the paradigm, the shared mindset, the deep-seated beliefs out of which the entire system, its goals, its rules, all of it, grows.
And this ladder of leverage leads us to the ultimate wisdom of the book. It's this beautiful philosophical shift away from trying to control systems and toward learning how to participate with them gracefully. I mean, just let that sink in. The world is so complex, we can never, ever fully predict or control it. The idea that we can is an illusion, and it's a dangerous trap. Instead, the goal is to learn how to dance with our systems, to listen, to respond to the feedback, to move in harmony with their natural rhythms, and to gently, skillfully guide them toward better outcomes.
So what does this dance actually look like? Well, it means staying humble, because you know for a fact you don't have the whole picture. It means respecting information, because that's the lifeblood of a system. It means paying attention to what's truly important, things like justice or health or happiness, not just the things that are easy to count. And maybe above all, it means expanding our boundary of caring and realizing that in this interconnected world, the well-being of the whole system is the only way any single part of it can truly thrive.
Thinking in systems really does offer a powerful new lens for looking at the world and our place in it. It's a toolkit for anyone who wants to create more effective, more compassionate change. If you enjoyed this summary and want to keep digging into transformative ideas, do us a favor and hit like and subscribe to Book Explainer. Thanks so much for watching.